In 1967, we followed Vince Lombardi through his final season as head coach of the Packers. We followed him everywhere, to church, to meetings, and he wore a wireless microphone on the sidelines. Lombardi was famous for the way he drove his players to greatness, but this film showed another side, a well-educated, thoughtful man who pushed himself as hard as he pushed his players.
Coach Lombardi is probably the most hated man in professional football. I mean, every coach wants to beat Lombardi more than any man.
He never cut corners. He played to win. He was a winner. He knew it was a profession, and he got the job done.
Football is in his blood. He can't do without football. He lives it, he dreams it, he eats it, and everything. Football is his life. That's his life.
He has to win. That's his job, that's his life, that's his profession. To win, you have to drive.
Vince says of himself that my restlessness and my impatience are either my greatest strength or my greatest weakness. I have never been able to decide which.
He is kind of a mystery. He eludes you. I couldn't sum him up. To me, he's the most wonderful man in the world.
I hope this was a habit.
It's become a semi-habit, Vinny. Congratulations for the second year in a row. Wonderful performance by a fine football club and a great coach.
Vince, I think the question has to be asked. There's been so much speculation.
Well, I'm not ready. It's much too early for me to say anything. I'm going to give Vince Lombardi a good hard look.
A good hard look. Vincent Thomas Lombardi, head coach and general manager of the Green Bay Packers, a team unrivaled in the history of professional football. For the second year in a row, he has proven his dominance by defeating all competition for the World Championship crown. At the first Super Bowl, Lombardi and the Packers won with the discipline, ease, and finesse of unimpeachable champions. In only 9 years, Lombardi molded an organization that has become the standard by which all professional football teams are measured. How does such a man begin the inward search? Reflect upon his achievement. Take a good hard look at himself.
You're champion, right? Therefore, you play like it all of the time, regardless of what game it is or anything else. You play like champions every minute out there. Go get them.
By the start of the 1967 season, Lombardi had guided the Packers to 5 National Football League championship games. He had endured defeat only once, but it was enough to destroy any hope for an unprecedented triple strand of NFL titles, the only prize he had not captured during his successful reign as a coach. For Lombardi, 1967 was a year of decision. It was his second attempt to achieve the unprecedented, but the season began with a toll of injuries that decimated his entire first-string backfield. He won on the strength of a defense that managed to limp home to victory. Midway in the season, his quarterback, Bart Starr, returned, and the offense regained its lost firepower. The Packers began to meld as a team. An untested performer like rookie Travis Williams survived Lombardi's relentless manipulation of his backfield combinations and emerged a star. But no victory was an easy one for Lombardi, and no defeat. When the Packers were stopped by the Colts, the rigors of the long, hard season were apparent. By the 11th game of the season, earlier than anyone expected, they clinched first place in the Central Division by beating the Chicago Bears. A good, hard look. How much can a man ask of himself? How much can he ask of others?
He doesn't ask, he demands. He demands every ounce of your effort, 150% of your desire, your strength, everything you have.
Everybody grabbing out there. Nobody tackling. Just grabbing, everybody. Grab, grab, grab. Nobody tackling. Put your shoulders in there out there.
No one is perfect. Nobody can be perfect. But by striving for absolute perfection, you raise yourself notches above what you may have been content to be. And I think this is the law that he governs himself with.
What are they doing through the center of that line out there? Too much out there!
I've always felt that it would be very difficult to play for Coach Lombardi as a loser. He's a very intense man, and I think that really on a loser, maybe he would just be a little too tough to play for.
I'll tell you something, Leroy, you're not going to get your job back unless we get a better performance.
He is definitely intense. Football is an intense game, and it's an emotional game. You can't play it with a skirt on.
Come on, let's beat him up there! Oh, God, get him out of there, will you? Hey, what about that now? He had him on a, hey! He had him by the shirt! He had him by the shoulder pad. He didn't have him by the mask. What the hell's going on out here? Hey, interference! Interference! What the hell kind of football is that we're playing out here today? What the hell's going on out here?
Vincent Thomas Lombardi, 1967. Vincent Thomas Lombardi, 1913. He was born on June 11th in Brooklyn, New York. His godfather was Sonny Jim Fitzsimmons, a legendary racetrack figure who trained 3 Derby winners. When he was 8, he was an altar boy at St. Mark's Church. He wanted to be a priest.
He wanted to be a priest, then all of a sudden, that was off.
Well, I met Vince Lombardi when he was at St. Francis Prep in Brooklyn, and I heard about his great prowess as a fullback in high school. So I contacted him and told him about the great things that would happen to him if he came to Fordham University.
He was one of the best players on the team. One of them, not I would say the best, but he was just as good as any of them.
His greatest asset was his blocking. And of course, he was very good on defense. And Vince, on several occasions, intercepted passes. He didn't run very far with the ball when he got it, but he was good enough to intercept the pass.
The 7 Blocks of Granite, a title earned by a Fordham line for its great defensive play. A former All-Metropolitan fullback, Vince Lombardi, was converted to right guard.
Those days, Fordham had a play in which Lombardi, as the right guard, had to block the Pittsburgh left tackle Tony Matese, who was 215, 220, an All-American player. Lombardi weighed about 172. And in trying to block Matese, or in blocking him, Vince received severe cuts inside his mouth to the extent that he played almost 60 minutes with a mouth full of blood. I think the point in that is, and I say the player was father of the coach, that there's nothing that Lombardi has demanded of the Packers that he didn't demand of himself in full measure in his own playing days.
and present, 30 years. In 1937, he graduates cum laude from Fordham. He goes to law school, marries, and is forced to find work. He coaches at St. Cecilia's High School in New Jersey and teaches Latin, physics, and chemistry. In 1947, he returns to Fordham as an assistant coach. In 1949, he goes to West Point as an assistant to Red Blake.
He showed exactly what I thought he was. Highly volatile, enthusiastic, given to degrees of emotion which were quite unlike most coaches. In other words, he was someone like the volatile Italian that who is up and down. But through it all, why, he had great ability.
I was a neophyte as far as football is concerned until I went to West Point. I've got to give him all the credit for whatever I know in football.
In 1954, he goes to the New York Giants as an assistant to Jim Lee Howell.
Some people were just a little concerned at first how he would take to pro football. But he was so smart, and he adapted himself right away. He saw what he needed to do, and had no one told him, he would have still found out, because he is a very knowledgeable person about the game.
Of course, he wouldn't have had to know too much to help our team out. I think we'd won one game in 1953.
For 5 years, Lombardi searches impatiently for a head coaching position. He's rejected for one reason or another. In February of 1959, he arrives in Green Bay, head coach and general manager of a team that hasn't seen a winning season for 11 disastrous years. A team with no direction, no future, and no morale.
We knew from the outset that he was in command, a take-charge guy, and a guy that you couldn't fool around with.
I didn't come in and have a meeting with the players and say myself, I wonder what their morale is going to be. I wonder how they're going to accept me. That wasn't what I said to myself. They're going to have to accept me. I'm not worried about their morale. I'm worried about Vince Lombardi's morale here. He did make the point that he had never been associated with a losing team, and he wasn't about to lose at Green Bay. And he said, gentlemen, we're going to win one way or the other.
If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here, and try to run this play in the alley.
Alone, Lombardi resuscitates a disorganized, depressed, dying team. He force-feeds the Packers with his will to work, his demand for discipline, his relentless drive to win. By summer's end, the Packers are Lombardi.
We were graded, of course, every play of every game throughout the year. And on Thursdays, the grades would be posted on the blackboard for every eye to see. And perhaps this was the start of something, instilling some pride in the individuals.
Lombardi's approach to the game was fundamental, characterized by the power sweep, a simple play that required 11 men willing to perform with the coolness, swiftness, and precision of a single unit. It was a distillation of Lombardi's football philosophy that possession is 9/10 of the law, and that blocking and tackling is the remaining 10. Lombardi's professional debut as head coach was against the Chicago Bears. His team on that day and from then on was built on the twin fortresses of a solid, unyielding defense and a balanced offense of passing and running that made every point count.
We were so elated and so excited having won this first game for our new coach that we just sort of swooped him up on our shoulders.
It was a triumph that was repeated 7 times. With only 5 losses, Green Bay had its best season in 14 years. In one furious year, he had transformed a 35-man taxi team into a league contender. In 1960, the Packers under Lombardi's firm control continued to develop. It is a year of refining and polishing that leads to the Western Division crown. Confident of victory, Lombardi's young team meets the Philadelphia Eagles for the NFL title.
We thought we had an excellent chance to win. We thought we should have won the ball game. We thought we played an excellent ball game all the way through. Philadelphia beat us, that's true, but Philadelphia beat us with good football. They beat us with Van Brockman. But it was a great experience for us, for the Green Bay Packers. It was the first time that any of our players, with the exception, I think, of one or two people, have ever been in a championship game before. So it was a great experience for us. And it's not the worst thing in the world to lose once in a while when you lose this way.
In 1961, the Packers sweep through the season with a phenomenal 11 wins and only 3 losses. They meet the New York Giants at Green Bay for the championship. Lombardi, in his 3rd year, establishes his mastery.
Everything we did just happened to break right for us. That's the reason you win 37-0, not because you are 37 points better than the other team. Everything just goes right for you, and everything goes wrong for the other team. And those days happen. They happen sometimes in championship games.
Lombardi wins his first NFL title. In 1962, Lombardi wins 13 games and loses only 1. The championship is a rematch with the New York Giants at Yankee Stadium. The Giants, anxious to avenge the humiliation of the previous year, are aroused, but Lombardi cannot be stopped. It's a bitterly fought game, but neither the harsh winds nor the gelid cold can chill Lombardi's triumph. Lombardi wins his 2nd consecutive NFL championship. In 1963, Lombardi has built the strongest team in Packer history. He has a 3rd NFL title within reach, but he loses 2 crucial games to the Chicago Bears and finishes 2nd in the Western Conference. The same year, his star halfback, Paul Hornung, is suspended for gambling.
One of the most difficult things in my life that I had to do was picking up the telephone, calling Coach Lombardi, and trying to explain what had happened.
He really adored this boy. He said he was as close to him as any ball player he ever coached. He was nearest the heart.
He was kind of hard to talk to long distance. I wish I would have been in his office looking back on it now. But he told me, I guess as any father would tell his son, he said, well, you just keep your nose clean. I don't care what you do all year, but you just better be a good, just stay away from everybody. I mean, it would be good if you went to someplace off by yourself for a complete year, and maybe you'll be reinstated. It was the most satisfying, I think, moment of my life when I stood to kick off against the Chicago Bears in 1964. I know, I can't tell you how happy I was to be given the opportunity to play football again. And we went on to win, and I had a real fine day. I think Coach was more happy for me that particular day than that he was himself. I know that he gave me a big hug after the ball game, and he said, welcome back.
Despite Hornung's return, Lombardi cannot reverse the downward spiral of his team. It's his worst season since 1959. The Packers finish 2nd to the Baltimore Colts, who go on to meet the Cleveland Browns for the NFL title. For 2 years, Lombardi endures frustration and defeat. 1965 will be a time for rebuilding, a test of his ability as a coach and a test of his strength as a man.
His approach to the game of football is very much like the approach to the game of life, basically fundamental, not leaving anything to chance, being well prepared, thoroughly disciplined. This is the approach that he gave you in getting ready for a football game.
What do you got on here, man?
First real Sunday's game.
Lombardi learned the value of pre-game analysis from Red Blake. He studies films intensively to shape the game plan against his opponent.
Tell you.
All right, ready? 4-3 K zone. K zone. All right, let's go now. Come on, baby. Okay, you have a brown right.
Holds up, doesn't it? Huh? Third down. He went weak with the fullback fanning, second and long. Went away from the fullback. Went with the fullback on a flood, went with the fullback on a flood. So it does hold up somewhat.
Move to it under weak gut. You have a brown left, brown left. Jeff.
Coach Lombardi has always felt that physical condition can mean maybe 2 or 3 victories a year, especially in professional football. And if that is the case, he believes that the Green Bay is going to be the best physical condition football team in America. He's always said that you can't play a football game on Sunday. You have to start playing that football game on Tuesday, the first day of practice.
Come on, look at me, 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 look at me. All right.
His coaching is that he continually puts you and works you on these basic techniques that you need to block, and he keeps you on it day in and day out, makes you a better football player.
Excellent, excellent.
The veterans are not treated any different than the young rookies coming in. We all have to do every drill and do everything 100%.
Through the machine, block through the machine.
As a man, Lombardi is a very unusual combination of the great qualities of leadership, the ability to inspire, the ability to transmit dedication, and especially the ability to teach.
I don't think there's any difference whether you teach on the football field or whether you teach in the classroom. They're both exactly the same. A good teacher puts across what he must put across to his pupils. So you show them how and why. You have to get them to be a part of it. They have to understand. If they understand, they'll do it, and do it the right way. The defensive left end, Boston Baker. They're all 4 strong people. McGee, all 4 of them, real strong. On the takeoffs, third and short situation. Safety's up. There's a backslide, and brother, is that open? You never in your life seen anything more open than that. Ordinarily, we'd use a lot.
After a general meeting with the team, Lombardi works privately with his quarterbacks. The strategy is reviewed again and simplified.
Which may make your 38 pretty good. 38 toss to that side. But not your pitch outs.
Go ahead now, you had him. Oh, well, he couldn't hit the guy. You had him, though. Snap it. You don't see the X once out of a million times. Let's go.
A lot of times, by the way, both these halfbacks are real bad on flies. Geez, if we don't throw, we got to throw at least 10 or 12, 15 flies in this ball game. They can't cover.
What are you doing out there, Mercine? Come on, Mercine, let's go here. You got to circle route right down the field.
No. So we're going to use the 4 pass for this there. Football, because of its very nature, takes a great deal of dedication. There's a great deal of work going into getting ready to play a game of football. It's a physical game. It's a game of hard knocks.
And he's always believed that there's only 2 things that come before football. That's your religion and your family. There's only one job, and that's football.
Somebody said he made football players out of some men, and he made men out of some football players. I think he's much more proud of the fact that he made some men out of football players.
just being associated with him, just being around him, made you a bigger, a stronger, a better person, and that you could not help but grow in stature from this experience.
He's a coach that I'm sure that have prepared a lot of us to go out and live in a competitive society. He taught us a lot of values about life.
In 1965, after 2 years of rebuilding, nothing more than Lombardi's total dedication to success spurs the Packers to another championship game. Against the Cleveland Browns, he employs nothing new, just reapplies his concept of power football. It is the beginning of his return to prominence. For 2 years, Lombardi stood impatiently on the sidelines. With the same impatience, he drives Paul Hornung and Jim Taylor through snow and mud to victory. Vincent Thomas Lombardi is again a champion. In 1966, Lombardi's drive is unequaled. He faces the Dallas Cowboys for the NFL title, a title that represents not only mastery in his profession, but also the second precious link in the chain of 3. If he wins, 1967 will be the ultimate test, a year that determines whether he can forge the final link, a prize no team in the history of modern professional football has ever achieved. Packers 34, Dallas 27, another NFL title, the second link.
I think after all these years, Mike, that I could come out here and be nice and relaxed. Jeez, I'm a nervous wreck.
Here we go, let's go. Here we go, here. Get in here.
I want you to be proud of your profession. It's a great profession. You be proud of this game, and you can do a great deal for football today. Great deal for all the players in the league and everything else. Go out there and play this ball game like I know you can play it. Let's go. Let's go. Get out there. Get out there.
He tells you that if you give anything less than the best that you have within you at any time, regardless of the situation, regardless of the consequences, that you're cheating yourself. You're cheating your teammates, you're cheating professional football, and you're cheating the fans who have made the game what it is today for you. But most of all, you're cheating your maker who gave you that God-given talent with which to succeed.
And this great pride that we do have in being part of a winning team. And I think it all stems down from Lombardi. He hates to lose.
Anytime, anywhere. A hot Sunday afternoon in Los Angeles, 1967. A meaningless game for a team that has won its division title. But for Lombardi, there is no substitute for victory, no second place, no game without meaning. To win is to succeed, and the Rams will meet the best that Lombardi can offer.
The double team we missed. We missed the double team. Huh? Come on, Danny! Oh, damn, man, if he'd only run! Hey, Danny! Stick it out there, stick it out there! Hey! What about that? Hey, Owen! Hey, that swing is just as bad as a hit! Arthur, that swing is as bad as a hit!
The first Packer drive is stopped. Don Chandler's field goal attempt is short and wide. The Rams' defense has canceled the Packers' passing game. But late in the first quarter, the Packers begin to move.
That's the way, all right. Get away, Leroy. You get it, Leroy.
Just before the end of the quarter, Starr completes his first touchdown pass to Carroll Dale. The Packers lead the Rams 7-0. But then the game seesaws for 3 quarters, neither team gaining definite superiority on the field or on the scoreboard. By the end of the third period, The Rams are leading by a touchdown.
What a devilish... Hey, it's supposed to be a hell of a defensive club. It didn't look like it to me. All the way down, about 70 yards.
Here's the thing about people that have a little bit of ability that they don't seem to use, or I've made the statement at times, his gifted children, and I think he thinks of everyone on the club as a child, or his child particularly, and he drives his gifted people so much harder than he does anyone else. He demands that you use your God-given ability the best you can.
Travis Williams, the most gifted of Lombardi's children.
I figured that if Lombardi drafted me, he must have had a reason, but I still yet don't know why. But when I came here, I just wanted to just do my best and just really put everything I had into it to try to make this club.
Chandler's conversion ties the score 17-17.
Oh, what a man. Hey, Travis. Hey, Phil, get your defense together now. Will you please? Get them together up there a little bit. Go away, sir. Go away, all right? A little bit. Go away.
Williams' touchdown rekindled the Packers' confidence in a definite win. They played like champions and with nothing at stake except their pride and dignity. With minutes remaining in the fourth quarter, they lead the Rams 24-20.
Because 111, I thought it was less than that. Holy grief. You got to make a first down here. He was right up there. Jones came way inside. Just missed him cold. Yeah, what the hell are we going to do? We can't throw it back. No, we can't help it. That's all we got. Don't drop the ball, but we can punt the ball to somebody, will you please? We're going to have the punt again, Coach. You want Chandler to punt? No, I don't want Chandler to punt. Why the hell would I have Chandler to punt? He's a quicker kick than I think. Come on. Oh, Jesus. Come real high this side. He's a punter here. The other guy hasn't been punting. Suppose he put the line drive down there and they run it back. What was the last play, Bud? Well, who the hell is that? Well, we missed everybody on that drive. Let's block up there now! Put it up there, Danny!
Rams 27, the Green Bay Packers 24. Again, Vince Lombardi. Good to have you back, Coach.
Well, Good to be back, too.
In looking back over that one, would you change anything?
Well, I suppose in any game, or I suppose the only thing I would change would be the score, really. And I suppose you could second-guess yourself 40 or 50 times. But how many punts are blocked? Anderson hasn't had one block this year. He's a quick rhythm punter, and actually, that's the answer.
You can lose because you were outclassed or outbeaten, or that day you gave your all and it didn't work, or he didn't prepare them, or something went amiss, so you got a bad break. But don't lose looking bad.
I got to say I'm as proud of this football team as their performance today as anything I could think of. I think it's a credit to the profession, and it's a credit to football itself, that a team who's had their own division title won would go out and play as hard as our team played today. It's been a long season now, and we like to get the season over with and get ready for the December 23rd game against whoever it may be, Baltimore or the Los Angeles Rams.
Past and present, the patterns of memory. In 1963, the Packers were defeated twice by the Chicago Bears, and Lombardi's hope for 3 consecutive NFL titles was crushed. In 1964, the Packers were defeated twice by the Baltimore Colts, and Lombardi's attempt for even a division title was thwarted. History seemed to be repeating itself. One more defeat by the Los Angeles Rams and the pattern would be complete. Lombardi's failure would be total. He would have to begin again to forge the chain of 3 consecutive NFL titles.
I'm not in the habit of quoting scripture, but I was groping, I think, at the time for something in order to give my club a little bit of a lift. I hope I can remember it now. Don't you know that while all the runners in a stadium are in a race, only one wins the prize, so run to win.
The Rams, a young, hungry team under coach George Allen, came to the conference playoff with an 8-game winning streak. The Packers came with Lombardi and a will to win. By the end of the first quarter, the Rams have dominated every phase of play and take the lead on a pass from Roman Gabriel to Bernie Casey. Packers nothing, Rams 7. Nothing goes right at the start of the second quarter. Ram safety Chuck Lamson intercepts Bart Starr's expected 3rd down pass. Lombardi drives.
What the hell is wrong with you anyway?
Hey, you should have made it. Either that or a tight inside next time. 46 tight inside.
Lombardi drives and the Packers run to win. Run to win. Travis Williams rips through the Rams' defensive line and races 47 yards to a touchdown. Packers 7, Rams 7. Run to win. A 3rd down pass to Carroll Dale. Packers 14, Rams 7. Run to win. Chuck Mersine up the middle. Packers 21, Rams 7. By the end of the 3rd quarter, the Packers are the most determined football machine in the world. The Rams are stifled. Victory is beyond their reach. It is the most bitterly fought game of the year. Not only the pride of the Packers, but a chance for a 3rd straight championship is at stake.
We all have different thresholds of pain.
There are a lot of people that cannot play with little hurts, and he knows this, and we have had people there. But there are a lot of people who can, and I don't believe anyone knows just what they can do until they try, and he makes sure you try.
Is he all right?
There's complete compassion for these players, but you can't harp on them night and day. If you do, they become big problems. Live with it, in other words. Live with it.
A year of injuries, a year of disappointment is forgotten. Run to win. Run to win. Travis Williams for the final touchdown. Run to win. Now only Dallas stands between Lombardi and his 9-year quest. December 1967, Green Bay versus Dallas, the NFL championship.
Championships are there to be won. And the fact that you win 1, or you win 2, or you win 3 doesn't mean to say that you should be filled up now. I think you should win as many as you can, and every time you go out there, you should try to win. For anybody who has the idea that just to play or just to take part, and that's all that's necessary, I think he's in the wrong business. I think he's in the wrong country. One of the things that made America great is to try to be the best in everything that they do. And the best, again, is signified by winning.
On the coldest day in championship records, Lombardi finally has pro football history in his grasp. In the first quarter, Green Bay moves swiftly to establish its authority. Driving downfield methodically, on the ground and through the air, Green Bay takes the lead early with a pass from star to Boyd Dowler. The temperature falls to a destructive 13 degrees below zero. The bitter cold pervades every inch of Lambeau Field. For Lombardi, whose game depends on execution, the weather is only another factor in his game plan. The star to Dowler combination stuns Dallas again in the second period. Coach Tom Landry's offense is impotent, but 2 quick turns of events canceled the expected rout. Caught in the vicious swirl of the Dallas defense, Bart Starr fumbles. George Andre recovers and tumbles into the end zone. The Packers' lead is cut by 7 points. Then Willie Wood bobbles the ball. Dallas recovers again and converts the opportunity into a field goal. 2 errors have altered the course of the championship. At halftime, the Packers lead by a mere 4 points. The third period is scoreless. Lombardi's offense is humbled, manhandled, and limited to a meager 10 yards. Only Lombardi's defense maintains the balance. The defense has carried Lombardi to the championship game. But at the start of the final period, its strength withers away, and the Dallas offense scores its first touchdown. On a halfback option, Dan Reeves passes to Lance Rensel. Trailing 17-14, the Packers no longer look like champions. Dallas takes the offensive as the field turns to ice. Packers defense and the frozen field combined to stifle the Cowboys' final bid for glory. They can only hope for the clock to run out. At 4 minutes, 50 seconds of the final quarter, the Packers have 68 yards to cross, 68 yards of ice, 68 yards of a determined Dallas defense. The Packers cross midfield on a pass from Starr to Boyd Dowler. 3 minutes, 30 seconds remain. The Packers suffer a serious reversal as Cowboy and Willie Towns smothers Anderson for a 9-yard loss. On 2nd and 19, Starr passes to Donnie Anderson, who maneuvers 13 yards to the Dallas 39. 2 minutes remain. Starr secures the vital first down with another pass to Anderson. One minute 40 remain. On 1st and 10, Starr tosses a swing pass to Chuck Mercine, who gets to the 11-yard line. One minute 11 remain. Mercine crashes 8 yards closer. 54 seconds remain. Donnie Anderson makes it 1st and goal on the 1. 30 seconds remain. Anderson with poor footing tries again. No gain. 20 seconds remain. Anderson slips on the icy field. No gain. Starr calls his last time out. 16 seconds remain.
We went with Anderson twice, and then we went with the wedge play. The wedge play could have been given to the fullback, or Starr could have taken himself. But that play was discussed on the sidelines. Now, as far as going for the touchdown and not going for the field goal, that was my decision from the sideline. That's not Starr's decision in the game. That had to be my decision. If it had failed, I would have the one who had been roasted, not Bart Starr.
16 seconds. Time enough for one more play. Time enough for daring. Time enough for failure. Time enough for Lombardi to win a 3rd straight NFL championship. Know ye not that they which run in a race run all, but one receiveth the prize? So run that ye may obtain.
Green Bay Packer football, as all of football, has grown in leaps and in bounds since 1958. The season begins.
Take a good, hard look. Vincent Thomas Lombardi, head coach and general manager of the Green Bay Packers. A winner. To every task he brought the desire, the dedication, the discipline to succeed. He never coached a losing team.
Because of the nature of the business, and because of the growth of the business, and the corporate structure of the Packers, I believe it is impractical for me to try to do both jobs, and I feel I must relinquish one of them. Fortunately, I have had a very capable and a very loyal assistant. Gentlemen, let me introduce to you now the new head coach of the Green Bay Packers, Mr. Phil Bankston.
If I had to do things all over again, I think I would be I think I would pray for more patience maybe and more understanding. I think these are the two areas where I could improve a great deal, and I've been trying to, believe me.
Vincent Thomas Lombardi, February 1st, 1968.